Hey guys, good morning. So I had a Skype call planned for this morning and it got canceled. So I thought I'm already set up here. Why not go ahead and do a reading? Because I've been quiet for, I don't know, like a weekish. I hope you guys all had really good holidays and some time off and stuff like that. I know that a lot of people had some crazy stuff going on, and myself as well. Actually, I feel like I did pretty well, but been a little up and down. And to be totally honest, today I'm completely all over the place. Um, Not feeling great and like super, I don't know, frustrated with stuff. I've had technological difficulties all morning. I'm just tired. I dislocated my toe a few days ago. Like that's my life right now. So while that might not seem a great time to do a reading, I felt like, first of all, it's time. I need to upload something else. Second of all, we do have the eclipse coming up on the 5th, and I always find that my energy shifts a few days either prior or following that eclipse, just depending on kind of where my energy is and um, I'm assuming the planets in my chart and how those affect me. So you might be feeling that already, or you might be feeling that coming up soon. The 5th is a Saturday, so um, things might be coming up for you. So I wanted to do a reading. I'm not really sure where this is going to take me, so hopefully I don't lose a bunch of viewers while I ramble and kind of meander around, but I was just shuffling the Wild Unknown Oracle deck. This is, I have the tarot, but this is not the tarot. This is the actual Oracle deck, and the card that just flew out is the bear, which I love because I feel like, actually, I've literally seen this spirit animal in my auric field in the past, so I kind of want to know. Um, so I know that this is going to be a message for me, but I'm also pulling these cards as a message for you guys regarding the eclipse energies. So let's just read the book and find out what that's about. I did do a journey, I would say a few months ago, and the female bear played a huge role in that. And to me, bear is about healing and protection and the feminine protection energy. Um, so let's just see what this book has to say about it, just to make sure that I'm giving you the right information, if I can find it. Okay. Bear, waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. Ooh, that's really great. After a long winter, the bear arises from a deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move toward the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of the spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of the spring emerges, and your transformation begins. Um, I love that because A, we're in January. We're in the first days of January. It's January 3rd today, but of course, whenever you're seeing this message, it's for you. But also, we've been talking all about these brand new beginnings being in a new cycle and having ended whatever cycle we were going through in 2018, not just because it's the new year, but because that's literally where we are in our energy, okay? So this is definitely kind of supporting that and reminding us that the constant transformation we're going through. And for me, bear medicine, for speaking from a shamanic perspective, really is about um, healing and protection. And I guess that it's that like warm mother energy. Okay. So it's almost like being birthed out of the womb again. And I suppose that really is the same kind of energy they're talking about. It's just this transformation, this rebirth. Okay. So that's what we're going through right now. Um, let's get some tarot cards. Which deck do I want? I have so many decks, you guys. I love cards and I never know. I always use like the same ones over and over again. Okay, so we're going to go with the Psychic Tarot. which absolutely I use a lot, but I have not been using recently. So let me just clear these cards really quickly. And what I do when I clear these cards is just ask that all energies that no longer serve us be removed, taken to the light, and transmuted into unconditional love for the upliftment of humanity. And I say, thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. And I ask to be shown. I see those energies go up to the light and be transmuted. And then I ask that they be filled with the white light of the Creator and divine love, unconditional love, wisdom, and divine wisdom. So that they become a clear channel for messages for myself, my clients, and for the collective. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Show me, please. Thank you. And I just watch the transformation occur. Okay. So just a little window into what I'm doing. All right. So let's get some messages for the collective, for the energies coming in with the eclipse. Now, some people get frustrated. Actually, I don't think any of my real viewers get frustrated about this, but some people are like, some asshole was like, oh, tarot cards, that'll help. I'm like, dude, that is the way I get my messages. So I'm sorry if I'm not an astrologer giving you the astrological messages. There are other people to do that. I'm doing it the way that I do it. So if you are resonating with my messages, that's amazing. Please stay on my channel. If you are not, please find someone else. Thank you. All right, so let's get some messages for the collective regarding the transitions that we're going through, the awakenings that we're going through at this time, in light of our message from Bear and the transitions and the awakening from the slumber. I'm looking for some jumpers today, please. Looking for the jumping cards. Okay. Foundations and achievements. This is the equivalent of the Four of Wands. And so to me, the transitional period happening here has to do with stabilizing our energy and stabilizing our lives in general. You see there's a house in this picture, and that is like sort of the epitome of stabilizing oneself in the physical world, okay? Even though the wand suit tends to deal with spirit and energy, that's the precursor to stabilizing the physical world. I feel like some of you are definitely, I feel like a lot of you are moving house in a very metaphorical sense. Like not every, some people might actually be moving, but I feel like most people are moving house in a metaphorical sense. You're transitioning from one way of living to another. Again, stepping through a doorway, shedding a skin, and changing the way that you're living life. Some of you are literally going through an awakening process right now. I'm hearing that many of you have been through it, but it's almost like a cycle. It's almost like it's starting over on a higher level at this point. And maybe it's because it's the new year. Maybe it's because it simply was supposed to be that way. So you will be experiencing a higher degree of awakening. Even if you have already been through the awakening or an awakening process. I've gone through several in my lifetime, so I don't really feel like it's one process. I feel like it's a constantly ongoing thing, and it creates, ironically, through the spiritual awakening, creates a greater stability in your life, even in the physical plane. Because, like I'm always saying, we're spiritual beings living a physical nature, but we are here in the physical for a purpose, and that is to interact with, ground into, and live our lives in the physical plane. So, and maybe that's so important to me because I tend to not do that. Like, if I could just escape and live in the higher dimensions all the time, I totally would. But I was gifted 4 dogs to help keep me tied to this earth, and then an animal rescue. For some reason, I was like, did I just say an animal rescue? Let's just, sometimes it feels like that, but an animal rescue to keep me tied to this planet, and, to really engage in the physical world and the natural world. Okay. So there may be, and again, Bear is great to show us that because Bear goes through hibernation periods in the natural world and then has to wake up and then re-engage with the natural world when the springtime comes, when the rebirth comes. And so that is what's sort of happening for a lot of us now. I feel like like the month of December, there might have been some hibernation almost happening, and now we're waking back up to our physical existence in a new way. That doesn't just mean that people are doing like New Year's resolutions right now and getting themselves back in shape, hopefully, um, because I am a big proponent of being physically healthy on top of being spiritually healthy. That's important for you as well. But I do feel that it's almost a new life, a new world that many of us are stepping into. Some of us more drastically than others, okay? This card just tried to come out. Mental conflict. It's the equivalent of the Two of Swords. So some of you, I'm feeling this energy today personally, and so it's possible that some of us are going to feel that feeling of being like blocked um, in the process of making this move, or making this entering into this greater stability. That's okay. It's all part of the process. I'm hearing this is all part of the choosing of your actual path, because you really have to choose it. You really have to profoundly choose what you want and where you're going to go. If you don't do that, life just continues to happen to you and not for you. You have to be an active participant. Now, certain things will simply happen because you chose them before you entered this lifetime. Um, they were fated to happen or whatever, but we're at a point right now, I feel that there is a choice to be made, begin to move forward. And because it's the swords, not only is it mental, but in feeling that it's like the choice between a couple things, and certain things will have to be removed. It's not like you can pick one or the other and they all kind of stay in your life. You really feel like there's some shedding of an old skin, like I was saying before, again with the transformation talk, that needs to occur. Some cutting away, some setting of boundaries, removing of that which is no longer serving us. Okay, that can be tough for some people, and you might be feeling a little bit blocked up, a little bit um, tangled up in your thoughts right now, and that's okay. I'm getting the message that if you're feeling that way, that recognizing it and kind of accepting it is the first step to being able to overcome it. So while my messages are frequently about breaking through those blockages, I'm actually getting today that if you're feeling that way, it points to a need to love yourself, and it points to a need to be generous and compassionate with yourself in the difficulty of this decision. I'm being corrected. It may feel like a difficult decision, but it's not so difficult when you actually have compassion for yourself and go into your heart space and ask yourself what it is that you truly need, okay? And make the decision from a sense of compassion for yourself, um, whatever that decision might be. Okay, a lot of people are going through a lot of different stuff, and so it's hard for me to really pinpoint one decision. A lot of things are going to be moving on from a job. A lot of things are going to be moving on from a relationship that's no longer serving you. So I'm feeling my heart just really, really active right now. And it's like that's where you need to connect and you need to get out of the headspace. So this card is called mental conflict. Remove the mental conflict by entering into your heart space and be okay with that. Don't Okay, the thing that makes it worse is being upset with yourself for being in that mental conflict. It's totally natural. You know, our mental lives, our mental bodies are an energetic structure outside of our physical bodies, and it's a natural part of being human. So you're going to have to make choices, and it's going to be sometimes they're not as easy as you might like. Okay. So compassion, self-compassion in this transitional time is important right now. Let's see what else we have coming up. Balance, 11. This is the Justice card. This makes total sense. Um, this makes total sense, okay, with all of these together. Both of these cards have aspects of balance in them. One is stabilizing, one is choosing to move forward out of a stalemate, out of mental conflict, okay? And there is a sense of balance in a stalemate because nobody's moving, right? But it's not positive. There is a sense of positive balance, but it is very structurally sound, which means it also doesn't move. What I'm feeling in this card, balance, the 11, the Justice card, is that, excuse me, there is that sense of balance, but it's movement in the balance. It is literally movement in the balance is what they're saying to me right now. So the balance is shifting in your life, and there's self-empowerment coming in, and there are choices being made, right? Movement in something that was so stagnant for so long. Um, and these choices that are being made are big. They're really big for a lot of people. Um, okay, so the eclipse energy that's coming in, I'm feeling emptying out. I'm feeling the sense of an emptying out. And I don't know what that's about exactly, but to me, it's like a clearing of additional karmic contracts that you might be holding on to. And that's a kind of balancing in itself because it's like, here's your karma. When you empty those out, it goes back up, okay? Um, Clearing of contracts and emptying out. Why are they saying emptying out? It may simply be that we are clearing the energies that are surrounding these more dense physical experiences that we're having in our lives. Again, I'm getting the feeling of being tied up in a job that's not serving you or that is clearly not part of your life's mission. Okay. Um, and the same sense for people who are going through that kind of situation in relationships, the clearing out of the denser energies that are related to people who are not in your resonance at this point. And like, I feel like I'm saying so much of this so often, so I don't want to belabor the point, but they really do want me to bring up the idea of emptying out. So whatever that means for you, some people need to literally clean out their closets. Some people need to clean out their metaphorical closets. There might be conversations that need to be had with people. If there's something that you need to say to someone, this is the time. So for some people, that might be, it's going to be a revealing of the truth, okay? We're talking about balance, we're talking about justice. So for some people, that's going to be telling people that they can no longer do this, that they can no longer continue in this situation that is not serving them anymore. For other people, it's going to be a deepening of a relationship because their truth is about expressing the depth of their feeling, okay? The depth of their experience with a certain person or their connection or something like that. So I'm feeling things on a lot of different levels. So I feel like this is going to affect people in a lot of different ways as opposed to other times when we're all kind of having the same thing. But the major theme that I'm getting is a balancing. This might be for me personally. I am getting something about my north and south node. Um, but not knowing enough about astrology, I don't want to start putting it in a video and have people go crazy. So, so there is this balancing coming through, and I don't feel it's like we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot of really difficult karmic balancing. I don't feel that it's that difficult. I feel like it might feel that way a little bit, but it's kind of like the finishing touches on something for a lot of people. For other people, this might be the beginning. You know, a lot of people are just stepping into this process, okay, and they haven't been going through it as long as others. So, but for a lot of you, this is going to actually feel more like relief, I'm hearing, okay? What else do we have coming up? Definitely getting that feeling of relief and emptying out. So whether you're expressing your emotions, you're clearing out that which no longer serves you, it's almost creating this sense of relief. And release is what they're saying now too, and reminding me of transition, transformation. Okay. What else is coming in with this eclipse? I'm going to do one more card. It looks like we're at 22 minutes, 22:11 as I say that, and then maybe an oracle card, and then I'm going to wrap it up because I'm trying not to make these as long. Okay. Okay, these two. Okay. So as we're talking about release, we have trapped in fear, which is like the Eight of Swords, and we have power, which is a number 8 card. It's the strength card. And so I feel that I'm talking about the emptying out and the release of, and here it's almost like this is the courage to release yourself from the chains that from the cell you've bound yourself in. Okay. This is like a minor card. To me, this is like the devil, but the minor arcana version. Okay. So but this is like having the courage and the personal power to release yourself from that. And the combination of these cards too, especially after coming up after justice or balance, which is the justice card, I do feel that there is a lot of karmic stuff getting emptied or balanced right now. Sorry, there's a hair. And that is a major piece of what's something about Saturn's coming through. And maybe it's because we're in Capricorn season, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So there's so much of what has been a heavy obligation that's getting released at this point. But it is about balancing up your karma, balancing out your karma, and the courage that's going to be coming through for you in order to break out of this cell that you have created for yourself. The thing about the Eight of Swords is that you have the power to get out of it. Here's literally the power, and yet mentally you keep yourself stuck. And so it's like there's this big transition, this big balancing that's taking place and allowing you the courage and the strength to get out of whatever that is. Again, job, relationship, um, family relationship, family dynamic. For me, I'm telling you right now, in the last 24 hours, the number of ways that I have spoken my truth and spoken, set boundaries with people that I ordinarily would have just done something for because I felt like it was the right thing, um, are immense. There are people that I told just said no to in a compassionate way that I would not have said no to before just because I would have been like, oh, well, they're family, I better help them or something. And it's not that helping people is bad, it's that there are times in your life when you need to set boundaries for yourself to conserve your own energy so that you can do the things that you need to do for yourself, which also makes you stronger to help people more in the future. Okay, so there are times when you need to conserve your own energy, and this is one of those times because you're about to, oh God, okay, they're running me back into bear. So this is one of those times because we're stepping out of that hibernation period where we've been conserving our own energy, and we're going to be stepping into a greater, they're just showing me like the burst of spring. We're stepping into spring when there's going to be so much that we need to do. We need to have our energy. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for us to be helping people of all kinds, whether it is the family members or um, partners or other organizations, volunteering or stepping into your mission or clients or whatever it is for everybody. It's like all these different scenarios are running through my head right now. You'll know what it is for you, but so it's kind of about being balancing on the precipice of breaking out of hibernation, but still needing to conserve your energy and not blowing it in places where you're being called to know when to set those boundaries, when to say no, when to use your discernment, when to use your own courage and power to set the boundaries and say no to other people, to break yourself out of the self-imposed prison. Okay, um, saying no is going to mean leaving things for some people. There's going to be a lot of that on a lot of different levels, whether it's small, whether it's big or little. And I think I'm hearing now, right now, that there's going to be a surprising amount of ease that goes along with doing that because you're finally stepping into your power. You're finally taking the steps to walk into balance. And so therefore, because again, we're talking about the Justice card, um, because it's the right thing, it's going to the energy is going to flow. The energy is going to be balanced and it will feel easier than you imagined it was going to be. You've been imagining it was going to be so difficult and keeping yourself in this conflict and prison, and yet all needs will be met. Whatever it is, all needs will be met. And um, because it's, again, the right thing, it's the balancing thing, everything is going to fall into place as it's supposed to. It doesn't mean there will be no difficulty, all right, but it does mean that it's going to be far easier than you thought it was going to be, and your courage, your personal power, your self-empowerment is going to be rewarded um, with whatever it is that you deserve, okay, with justice, all right. I hope that this is helpful. I want to keep going because I just love doing this so much, but I don't want to keep going so long and have people like drop off. So I really appreciate you guys. I'll do another reading soon. And please like, subscribe, share. And I do have a New Year reading available for just $30. It's 17 cards. It's a recording and it's available only through January 7th, so only through a few more days. All right, so the information about that is in the description box below. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.